What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the number one BMX podcast in the universe, according to me. I just got back to the United States from China. I am completely jet-lagged and totally fried in the brain, and I'm pleased to bring you this brand new episode featuring an alcohol-induced conversation with Mr. Rob Darden. Rob Darden has been a pro BMX rider for a very long time, and he recently moved to the other side of the world and accepted a position as China's head Olympic coach. We discuss how he fell into this position in the first place, his time in China so far, what the future holds for the Chinese Olympic team and BMX in China in general, really bad Chinese alcohol, health, fitness, and all sorts of other nonsense. So sit back, listen up, prepare to hear a whole bunch of pointless rambling. This is the Rollback BMX Podcast with Rob Darden.
So, you hear about this job, you wait a year, I guess 6 months, you wait 6 months, you hear back, and do they fly you out for an interview?
Basically, it was an interview. So when Ryan told me about it, and I was like, drop my name again, he name drops.
So initially, Kane kind of drops your name and then Nyquist does, so do you think they heard your name twice?
Yeah, that's kind of
okay
how I feel. But I could be wrong. That's how, on paper, that's how it looks, I guess. And yeah, and then so Ryan drops my name, and then I'm in contact with the guy in Taiwan. They immediately buy me a ticket the next week. The next week I'm in China. I fly into Beijing. They take me down to the training facility. They explain everything, what their plans are, in a sense of, do you think you can do this if we do this type of thing?
What is do this? Is do this win an Olympic medal? Basically
get their athletes an Olympic medal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their main goal.
Yeah.
That's what they want. So, yeah. And what they presented to me, I had no problem seeing that. It was like it was a no-brainer to me.
So, 1 week you've heard nothing. The next week you're in China talking to these people. And did you accept the job on the spot?
No. They laid it down what their plans were, and I was only there for 24 hours.
You were literally there for 24 hours.
I flew in.
It probably takes 24 hours to get there from North Carolina.
It literally was. It took me 24 hours to get there. I was there for 24 hours, and it took me 24 hours to get home. And on the way home, on the way home, I received the contract, and the next month, I kind of renegotiated and just made sure everything was covered on my end and for my family. And when everything came to and was legit and we came to an agreement, it was game on. So
you have a wife, you have 2 young kids. What was your thought process as far as, not in this, I know you're doing this for them, to support your family, but what did your wife say about this? What were the conversations you guys had before you to kind of get the thumbs up to do this?
There was a lot of ups and downs. I don't know, for myself, this is obviously a dream situation.
Well, throw it back a little bit further. What have you been doing for work? Have you been just kind of stay-at-home dad stuff and just doing shows occasionally, or what?
I would do so I still had sponsors that would pay the bills. And then shows would just be bonus on top.
Who are the sponsors? Who do you ride for right now?
Rogue Fitness and SFH. And
so
that they would cover my bills.
Nice. Okay.
And so that was it was easy. And then any show stuff was on top of just, bonus on top of it.
Got some time, make some cash. Why not?
And then my wife has a good job. So it's
your wife's educated, college educated,
yep.
2 degrees, right?
Yep.
Super smart woman. Yeah. So
she handles her end, I handle my end, and we're good.
Yeah.
So, and then this came along, and I don't know, it was a situation where I can just continue doing what I want to do, but not have the stress of a competitor,
Yeah.
Basically, I can just ride how I want to ride without having to please other people or, sponsors or any of that shit.
Did you feel that way though? You weren't super active as far as competition goes in the last couple of years.
No, I wasn't. And basically that was because I lost, with other sponsors, I lost my travel budget.
Okay.
And so in BMX, if you don't have a supportive travel budget, it really isn't worth it. Like, if you're going to competitions, unless you're actually winning the competitions, and it's not worth it. Like, you'll
meaning you're going to spend $3,000 on a trip.
Yeah.
To you have to
you'll lose
two to make $3,000 back.
You'll lose money.
Yeah.
You know, the last 2 X Games I rode, I lost money.
You should have done better.
I should have done better.
So
amen to that.
So okay,
but
so,
shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're totally right.
Yeah, you're looking at like a $1,500 ticket, and then a hotel.
They boost up the hotel room costs.
A hotel for a week, food, all the bullshit.
Easy $1,500, $2,000 there.
Drinking, another $1,000,
which is necessary.
It's mandatory. and then where are you at? You get like, say you get top 10, you make $500.
Yeah.
Bullshit, you know? So like, unless you have a supportive sponsor that's covering the travel budget, it's really not worth it to be traveling to all the events.
You know, and it's hard too, because there's for a lot of brands and whatnot, it's like, I don't even hold it against you if you're not paying for your guy to go to Simple Session. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're going to give this guy basically a $2,000 trip. What is he going to do on this trip that's going to recoup $2,000? Probably nothing. Probably nothing.
And I understand it too, because if I was managing a budget and I had a group of riders and they're like, hey, we want to go to this contest for the weekend. And it's like, no, you're going to go party, get drunk, and ride the contest, get a shitty, position.
Maybe get 2 clips in a video.
Yeah, maybe. Or I can put that towards a team trip, yeah. and we can put out like a whole bunch of different edits or like social media stuff and like, and we're,
And also do brand building because the whole team's together.
Yeah, just, it's a no-brainer. Unless it's like, crazy events, like like
TV
say
times,
if it's like
TV time's a game changer.
Yeah, so like it's like maybe if it's like Dew Tour or X Games or like stuff like that, but still, like, okay, those are great and they're all like domestic events, but like if you're going to Feast, all Feast is international, so like you're looking at $1,500 basically a ticket.
You're
just
looking
to get
at
there.
If you went to every Feast contest and you lived in the United States and you had no travel budget, flight, hotel, not even factoring in food and whatnot, you're probably spending $10,000 to $15,000 a year, easy.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. So I'm in a position.
That's a shitload of money.
I'm in a position where I don't have a travel budget and I have mortgage and family and kids and all that, and it's just like it's not worth it. So I just.
So you're still riding actively, not competing as much based on that. This Chinese coach position comes along. What does your wife say about this initially? That I might be moving to China.
She's into it, but at the same time, she's scared. But I mean, we talk it out. I lay everything on the line, and I mean, we're into it. It's an adventure. It's something that I don't know. I'm not gonna. It continues, for me, it just continues what I love to do, riding bikes. But at the same time, I don't have to ride bikes. I'm not in a competitive position, but I can still ride and have a good time. I can kind of just do what I want to do, but teach the kids and help them progress. And that right now is like, it's like a dream come true, for where I'm at in my life, And
I guess it also presented you with a good financial opportunity.
Yeah, and like with the kids and the family and all that, it's like it was a no-brainer. It's like the Chinese Cycling Association is fully supportive, and all ends are taken care of, and the family's taken care of, and like. They can travel and they can come over, or they can live in China full time, and everything's just taken care of. So it's like, let's just roll with it. It's not the end of the world. It's a couple years, just live it. And so they're on board, I'm not gonna put my family in a position where it's gonna sacrifice our relationships or anything like that. You know? So I made sure every end is taken care of, and that way I would pull the trigger. I'm not going to pull the trigger if it's going to sacrifice relationships or anything. Like even now, like I'm not I'm not obligated to this job. Like I can quit anytime and I can get fired at any time. I'll still have to put in extra time, you know, like say if I quit, you know, I still got to work a few months to, you know, fulfill the position.
Yep.
But I'm not 100% committed, you know.
You're not tied up.
Yeah. I'm not 100% tied up. So like in that sense, like if there's stress on the family at any time, like I'll jump ship.
That's still priority one.
Like
Is
I don't
family.
give a fuck. I will bail in a second. Like I do not care, you know. Like I will not sacrifice any part of my family for any of this, you know. So right now it's great for my family, other than, you know, us being apart for this moment, which I just feel like is a small sacrifice of just basically just getting situated, you know, filling things out. And like right now we like with this whole process with the athletes, we've been going through like a selection process and then figuring out kind of where home base is going to be. And so we kind of been bouncing around China a little bit, you know, and right now we kind of found, you know, a good spot where things are good. It's a good like training facility for the kids this
is in Shanghai.
Taiseng, which is like it's an hour north of Shanghai.
Okay. And
so like, you know, 2 days a week we'll go, you know, one day we'll go to Shanghai and ride this like it's like a resi park where we're initially based at, and then another day of the week we'll go to SMP. So we switch things up, and then we'll be home at the Taiseng Park, like, you know, 5 days a week. So we switch it up, and it's a good mix of riding, keeps the kids, you know. I'm not down with just riding the same park 24/7 and they're brainwashed with that shit, you know. Like
you got to switch it up. I mean, you don't know what course you're going to when you show up to compete.
Yeah. That sense, but like, I mean, I would not even for them, probably more for myself. I'll lose my fucking mind. Like I got to go ride some curb cuts. I got to go grind some rails. I got to ride some bulls. I got to ride some box jumps. I got to ride some quarter vibes, resi, whatever. Like anything, you know, like my mind is always racing in BMX. Like,
so had you been to China before you took this gig?
I've been to China once before this, and I came here. I don't even know. It's been so long. I want to say 2001, but it might have been.
Oh wow! Okay.
It has to be 2001 because it was before my knee surgeries.
Okay.
And
what was it? An event, I assume.
Yeah, I came here with Colin McKay, and we went to Shenzhen, which is a city just north
near
of
Hong Kong. Yeah.
So we went there. It had to have been 2001 because later in 2001 is when I blew my knee out, and I came here with my knees strong. And went there, crazy time. To this day, I went to the craziest club I've ever been to. And then I never came back. And like Catfish had a tie with Kane, and fucking Catfish would always be like, "Oh, I'm in China. I'm like, yo, you got to get me back to China. And I'd always like send messages to Kane, Catfish. Like every time Catfish sent a message about China, I was like, yo, China. I want to come back to China. I'm coming back to China.
Needs Rob Darden.
Yeah. And then so nothing ever happens. Now I fucking live in China.
So I'm assuming when you were over there a long, long time ago, you never dreamed of living in such a place.
No. Actually, when I came over here, that was my first time ever coming overseas.
You hadn't been to
I'd never
Europe
been to anywhere. I'd never been anywhere in my life. So this was my, like, in China, or I flew into Hong Kong. That was my first time ever being overseas.
That's crazy because I think back to, I'd done a bit of traveling in Europe before I ever came to China. And I remember coming to China and I was like, this is the other world. Like the first time I went to Europe, I was like, oh man, it's crazy. But like, I was young and dumb, but then you come to China and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is fucking
crazy. China's crazy. Like,
so,
and I love it, you know, like I'm here every day. Every day I say, what the fuck? Every day I kick a car. Every day I'm on my bike. We have to ride like 2.5 kilometers to the skate park. I kick a car every day.
So you come over here and they want you to essentially help them build an Olympic team that can do well. And being completely frank, I'm sure you're a very smart guy. There aren't many incredibly good riders in China. You're not really given a good deck of cards. This isn't like you're the Australian coach, get an Australian gold medal, and you're like, we got Brandon Lupos, Logan Martin, Jake Walwork, Kyle Baldock, motherfuckers.
No brainer.
We got 20.
No brainer.
And they throw you over here, and I could not tell you the name of one Chinese rider.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I can't pronounce them, or maybe that's because I don't know who they are.
It's a bit of both.
So when they ask you about getting this gold medal and whatnot, do you present them with the evidence like, hey, we're behind?
Oh, I present them with we're behind, and they present me with we know we're behind.
Okay.
And so they present me with situations that are a no-brainer with progression that I'm like, if you do what you're saying that you want to do, then I believe that we can do this, you know?
Yeah.
With just the least amount of experience from a rider, you know? But I'm presented with riders that it blew my mind, you know, like they're telling me that we have gymnasts and wrestlers, or, you know, like, I just, who knows? Like they come from any sport, basically anyone that has any type of like air awareness, you know, or, could be a BMX athlete.
Balance.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, I'm sitting there on an email and I'm like, you know, I reply and I'm like, hey, you don't have like BMX riders?
Yeah.
Like no BMX experience? And they're like, no, we have like gymnasts, or, you know, and then so I show up and like some of the kids have ridden, you know, for a few years and they have BMX experience, but some of them just started riding this year. Okay. And they blow my mind every day on how much they progress or where they've come from and where they're at right now and how much they still learn, you know? And even I see some of the other Chinese riders that aren't even with me on my team, and I've seen them just like randomly throughout, you know, they'll show up at the park visiting and stuff.
Yeah.
And like their progression has blown me away. Like, you know, they've been riding for 6 months and they're like doing crazy shit, like flipping box jumps and 360 in box jumps and tail whipping box jumps.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't even know. I guess maybe like, you know, what the association is saying, like they have the air awareness and, you know, and then basically you learn how to ride a bike and you just put 2 and 2 together.
Man,
but I don't know. Like not everyone has it, but it's like so kind of what I've learned through the Chinese system is like if you're in the system of athletes in the Chinese system, it's basically like, say you have a pool of, I don't know, say you're a cross-country skier, okay? You want to try out, you're in the Chinese system as an athlete, you're a cross-country skier. They do everything, they run the test, everything, and you fail. You're just not cut out to be a cross-country skier. And they just push you on to be in, they'll just push you on to the next sport.
So how do they decide that you are an athlete?
They basically just, you might be able to answer that question. I don't know.
Okay, so you show up and they're like, these are athletes.
They pull athletes from other sports that might contribute to BMX. Like, you know, like if you're a competitive diver, you basically have air awareness or body awareness. If you're a gymnast, you have, you know, air awareness, body awareness. That. If you're a wrestler, you have, you know, body awareness, you know,
yes.
Things like that. So they pull these athletes from those sports and they're like, you're going to ride bikes.
So are the kids stoked when they get thrown into this?
I believe so. I haven't dug deep like that, you know. I mean, obviously there's a language barrier, but I haven't like, you know, like.
How are you doing that? So you're coaching these kids. Do you have a translator, like a full-time translator?
So I'm contracted to have a full-time translator. So, but when I came over, you know, they're like, you can hire assistant coach, full-time translator, all this stuff. And then when I came over, I didn't really understand the full situation of what was happening. And so I came over and I realized that there was this whole process already going on. And there was an assistant, well, he was like basically short time coach, and he ended up...
Was he a BMX rider?
Yeah, he's a BMX rider. He's from Canada, lived here for like 9-10 years, spoke Chinese fluently, and he was... When I came over and I fulfilled like the head coach job, he was essentially my assistant coach. And so in that sense, he was amazing because he spoke Chinese fluently and he rode BMX. So,
yeah, that sounds
so
perfect.
It was like, you know, anything I wanted to just, you know, say or do, he could actually speak it and show it, you know, type of thing. Like it was easy.
And now he's gone?
He is gone.
What happened there?
That was just some inside. Basically, him and this other guy that's before I came on, these two, him and this other guy kind of started this whole program. Basically, it ended like, you know, like best friends becoming roommates.
Too much time together?
Too much time together to where they just started butting heads. And it had nothing to do with me or anyone else. They just started butting heads because they had been working together for too long.
Understand.
And then I went to America and visited the family for a couple weeks. And while I was gone, they butted heads a few more times to where it just progressed too much. And that was enough.
So you come back and your dude's gone?
Not him, but actually both of them.
Okay.
They both ended up having to leave. And that's where we're at now.
So you need to get a translator. You need to get an assistant coach.
Yeah, but
perhaps one guy that's both.
But so with him gone and not translating, I mean, I got by just fine without him because we weren't always together at the park.
Gotcha.
Training and all that stuff. You know, like he would handle the afternoon sessions, I would do the morning sessions, stuff like that. You know,
yeah.
We split our time. So, you know, in the morning, like some of the athletes can speak decent English enough to where I could be like, hey, tell her that she needs to pump a little harder and push through a little bit more.
I think a lot of that, you probably show them, right? You show them.
I would also show, you know, you lead by example. So it'd be like, I would tell her to tell, you know, the other athlete what I'm trying to do.
One of the English speaking riders ends up being a bit of a translator.
Yeah, so I'd be like, hey, you need to pump a little harder and push through a little bit more. And then I would say, watch me. You know, I'll show you. And I would do it a few times and, you know, they get the picture, you know. And then also, I would also always be asking questions and wanting to know how to say it in Chinese. So, you know, if I had to say like, go faster, go higher, I would learn it
So when you're on the sidelines of a contest, you can still be yelling.
Anything, like, you know, go faster was like probably one of the first things I learned in China, how to say.
Do you abuse it? Like get in taxi cabs, tell them to go faster?
Oh, yeah.
All you say.
I was in the bus the other day, and I said it to the bus driver, and he was like,
fuck off.
Looked back at me, and he started laughing, you know? Or just like, sometimes you need to say like, you know, slow down, you know? Or just like...
Probably not as often as speed up.
No, but like, sometimes they're a little bit out of their element, you know? And I'm like, hey, slow down. Just...
So you were saying to me that you think probably the greatest hope is some of the girls. You see a lot of potential with some of the young girls as far as becoming the Olympic level before males.
Yeah, well, the guys, I mean, you know, you have the guys level riding Australia, America, UK. It's outrageous. You know?
Is. It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just jump into that pool and just expect to be at the top.
I think the only hope there would be there was some hidden talent in China that nobody knew of.
Yeah,
apparently
no
there's
one knew
not.
that. Yeah, or if you had like some Chinese rider,
national or something.
That held a passport for China but lived in America, and he'd been riding his whole life in America, and now he can represent China because he holds a passport.
Yeah,
like that type of gig, you know, which
doesn't exist.
It doesn't, but other people have that, you know.
They do, yeah,
in America. But there's not a Chinese rider that has that, you know. So if you're just coming with a, you know, full Chinese rider over here,
So are you saying that you're impressed with the women just based in comparison to the other women, or are you actually impressed with them? You're genuinely impressed with these Chinese girls' ability to progress?
Yeah, the women, I feel like it's just like an old school BMX vibe.
Yeah,
where everything is new and they're just progressing at a super fast rate because everything is new, you know, and they see videos and, you know, nowadays there's, you know, foam pits and resis like everywhere, and they just progress so fast. that it's crazy. You know, you have like 13-year-old girls doing wild stuff, and I was like, I barely even touched a ramp when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I have a 13-year-old girl that is doing like bar spins and
Wow.
180 bar spins and roasting like full box jumps and like crazy, wild
a lot
shit,
of potential. You get
like,
that good at that young.
at
That's
13 years old,
incredible.
The strength you see in a little girl at 13, it's like you don't see that,
So that's where you're seeing the most potential with as far as building into
Yeah.
the world's biggest megastar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old girl that I believe that will be one of the best in the world. She's just too young right now to compete in like beasts and all that.
Does she have that desire? Can you see that?
She is the most determined girl, or probably any athlete I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
She just is like on it, learns crazy. She studies. She looks at all the competitions.
Wow.
Like it's insane. And then like just before we came here, we were riding the park. Within 2 days, she learned 6 tricks and was flowing like this big 6-foot-tall Spox thing that would like intimidates most men.
6 foot tall that's tall.
6 foot tall, 4 foot wide, sharp edges. She's flowing it like a mini spine. And it like most of the men don't even jump it.
Is she on a 20-inch bike?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what top tube she's rocking.
But she's not on a little bike.
No, she's on a 20-inch bike. Yeah. Her name's Jo Hui-min.
Say it again?
Jo Hui-min.
Spell it.
CZHOU HUIMIN.
Is that her first name or her full name?
That I believe is her full name, because if that is her first name, fuck my life.
I think that's why a lot of them come to America and pick up a new name.
I have to come up with American names for all of them, because if we come to America, you can't just say my name is Jo Hui-min.
Yeah. My buddy just married a chick from China, and her name is Kay, like Kay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. I guess that can be a name, but it's kind of weird. And then like I saw some mail and her name is like K Dong or something. Like it's something just I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Fictional names.
But I may be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
These are just the names I was like, I guess, presented with.
So all these kids that you're teaching, they're all kids, right? How old are these riders?
Well, like I have 4 13-year-olds.
Yes.
And so technically they're not even eligible to compete for FIS or Olympics or any of that.
Okay.
But they're all great. They all learn and progress. They're all like super excited on BMX and everything. Yeah. And then the girls range from 13 up to 21.
Okay, so you have one that old.
And I think Gahui is actually 21 or 20.
The one that's really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the guys are all above, the guys are all older. I want to say one guy is 16 or 17. And then it goes up quickly to like 25.
Okay.
But we have 14 girls and 8 guys.
And you're basically in charge of all of them.
Yes, I'm head coach of all of them.
What's your formal title? You have to say it.
BMX Master Darden.
Did you pick that one out for yourself?
I didn't. It comes in the contract.
Was the Canadian guy there before you, BMX Master?
I guess. I mean, technically, but maybe a BMX Master Assistant.
Junior BMX Master?
I don't know. I don't even know how that goes. I don't know.
That's a pretty reasonable.
It's basically in the any head coach of any sport is basic in China is in a sense a master. So basically, me accepting this job and getting this job made me Master Darden.
You might formally be the only actual master in all of BMX.
Yeah,
that's a fucking resume piece right there.
And I'll write it down.
So how's shit so far? You going nuts over here? I've been here 2 weeks and I'm like just shy of 2 weeks. I gotta go fucking home, man.
See, I don't know. Like, a lot of people, you know, everyone over here for the event, they're all like, I gotta fucking go home. I'm freaking out, all this shit. And like, for me, like, this is everything I'm about. You know, I'm all about the adventure. I'm all about just searching and just, you know, so there's this whole gig, you know, this whole Chinese gig and coaching and just all this shit. And like, that's just one side of my life. You know, I take that in, like, that's that. But I think about so much other shit, how this benefits me. Like on my days off, like I'm always searching, you know, like I'm riding spots, I'm going around town, I'm shooting photos, photography. Like when I took out this job, I was like, oh, we're going to be going to Shanghai. I looked up Shanghai and it was like a photographer's dream.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And I was like, holy fuck, this is going to just fulfill like my photography. Just,
it's going to make everything else seem shitty.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically now, like, we're in another part of China right now. I'm like, fuck, this looks like shit, you know, compared to Shanghai. I can't even I don't even want to go out and shoot it, you know? It's like,
yeah.
But like, so I'm always looking for little things like that make it worthwhile. Like, I'm not always just like, oh, it's the job. 9 to 5, I'm here, there. I'm always like, I can't wait to get away from the job to like do the things that I actually really want to do.
Do you work like a formal schedule? Do you work 9 to 5 or is it loose? No. Or how do you do it?
Well, the schedule is up to me. So like,
okay,
the schedule is 100% up to me. Right now, if it rains, all of our stuff is outdoors. So
okay, I didn't know that.
So if it rains, day off.
Okay,
we'll just like, I'll basically just program some gym stuff.
How often does it rain?
Well, in the summertime in Shanghai, that's like the rainy season.
Okay.
So the locals, you know, I told the locals, I was like, hey, if it rains, it's basically like day off. And they're like, oh, you know, like you might as well just take the whole summer off, you know?
Okay.
But the summer actually wasn't that bad. Heat wise, it was miserable. Yeah. But it actually didn't, there was, you know, a few weeks where it just rained too much. And I was like, you know, almost complaining to the association that like, hey, you know, we're like killing ourselves here because we're not riding. You know, we're just losing time. Like, we should probably be somewhere else where we could be
send
training,
us to Woodward or something, totally get a facility.
Whatever,
here.
You know, or like there's parks down south or, you know, that are indoors that we could be taking advantage of, you know, rather than just waiting it out. I don't know where we're going with that.
I don't know how we got there. Talking about rain, talking about drinking the goddamn Red Star drink. Tell me about the Red Star drink.
I don't know about Red Star.
So, it smells really bad. I haven't tasted it yet. I'll taste it right now. So, there's no English writing. Oh, Red Star wine. So, it's wine?
I believe it's a rice wine.
But, like, you can drink wine. This is like goddamn turpentine. I might need to borrow this chaser.
It'll probably, if you were to spill that on your calf right now,
it would just melt it.
You'd probably lose your hair.
Are you drinking this a lot while you're out here? Is this the go-to?
It's cheap, man. I don't know. So, the bottle...
It's fucking awful.
The bottle you're holding right now is 8 RMB, which would be like $1.25 American.
Oh man, that's fucking terrible.
Which is probably expensive because we're at the hotel.
Okay, so it's probably like half that.
Yeah, so like I went to the market across the street from the event today.
Okay.
Not to get a bottle of liquor, but just to Diogo and I got some noodles. And I just saw the bottle with the Red Star, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like there it is. And it's this big ass bottle. And I just double checked with the cashier. I was like, you know, is this 15 RMB? And he's like, yeah. And so I was like, holy shit, you know, this one is 8 RMB.
Yeah.
You know, so 2 of those is 16, but the big ass bottle was 15 at that shop, you know? So like,
I don't know why we're basically, that, man.
Yeah. So we're basically like paying a shitload, which is not a shitload.
No.
$2.
That's less than $2, I think.
What, 16?
Oh, 16. Yeah, 16 is like $2.
16 RMB is about $2. Yeah. So 15 is like under $2 for a big ass bottle. You get a big ass bottle, blackout drunk off $2.
Are there a lot of like homeless drunks here?
No,
that's crazy.
In China, So Shanghai blew my mind because, like, you know, I grew up in Northern California, San Francisco, and it's like
The most expensive place in the world.
and it's homeless, fucking more homeless people than you can ever imagine, you know, and like,
You care if I drink this beer?
no, crack it. So like Shanghai, you'd think like, okay, we're looking at estimated 25 to 30 million people in Shanghai.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You would think homeless people would be fucking stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
There's no homeless people.
I've even noticed that here. You'll see some grimy people, but a lot of the grimy people seem to have jobs.
Yeah, there's no homeless people. I don't know what the fuck goes on. Like if you saw one, you would be like, you know, like, holy shit.
Something must be wrong.
Like, yeah, like you're really fucked up or something, you know? Like there's something really happening because there's literally no homeless people. I don't know if like just the government and all that just regulate it so hard, but I don't know where they would go or what they do with them, you know? Like how do like that population, like what's happening, you know? Like what's the difference between here and like San Francisco? Like why is there so many people on the streets of San Francisco and there's nobody here, you know?
I have no clue. But I've always thought about that. How is Shanghai as far as like safety goes? Is there any like shady parts?
It's dialed as shit.
I've never really wandered anywhere in China where I felt like sketchy.
Never.
I'm sure it's there.
And I've literally,
tried.
I have just laid my bike down and just gone anywhere and done anything and no problem. I've never had a problem with any shadiness whatsoever. The only time I ever had a problem with any type of sketchiness was we were at the skate park in Shanghai and we were eating at our restaurant, just like it's in the same facility of the stadium, and we're laid all our bikes down. There's like 20 plus bikes, you know, overturned at the restaurant. We're all eating, and I show up last, and some random guy, not homeless, whatever, but just Chinese people are just interested in just like, you know, what the hell, whatever.
I see bicycles my whole life. What is this?
So
bicycle?
he flips one of the bikes over. He's not like trying to take off.
Yeah.
He's just circling around.
Oh, he literally just got on it and started riding.
He just got on one of the kids' bikes and he's circling around right in front of the restaurant
where everybody can see him.
Yeah,
nothing
he's not trying to take off, you know. Yeah. And I roll up and I obviously see the bike and I'm like,
ready to fuck,
you know,
this dude up?
that's my girl's bike, you know. Like so I'm like, yo, what the fuck, you know, like what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, you know, immediately just like
it actually was innocent.
Yeah. He just, you know, he stops, he takes the bike, he hands it back to me, flips it over, and I flip it back over and go back to dinner, you know. Like that was literally the only time I've had any type of shadiness in 5 months.
Man, that's not even shady.
That's
literally like a
he was literally just being just curious, you know. And that's a curiosity that I see every day in China. Like I could be sitting there at a stop sign and they'll be like, look down at your pegs and they'll start touching your pegs.
Yeah,
you know?
I've seen that.
They're like, I've never seen this before. Like, what is this?
Why is your axle so large on one side?
Yeah, like weird stuff like that. So
far, are you psyched on it?
Dude, I to be honest, like I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
I like everyday life is just like a small adventure. You never kind of know what's going to show up or anything like that. I see the wildest stuff every day that just makes me say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I'm down with the routine of stuff.
You've in the past, when did you start getting into fitness pretty heavily? 7 or 8 years ago, probably?
I'm like 10 years in, probably. Because, like, InSearch, there's a clip in InSearch where I tried a 360, a handicap rail. I clipped my back wheel. And I get...
And that's when you got fucked up?
Yeah, I broke my wrist.
Okay.
This is like, we're shooting for the last clips for InSearch. And there was this handicap rail, and I was like, I want to truck it. So I threw it once. I think I just nicked my back wheel, and I get around. I slip a pedal or something, and I was like, all right, you know, whatever.
Rebate.
Come right back around. Come back around. Miss my pop on the bank. Clip back wheel hard. Fucking slingshot backwards. Put my hand down. fucking break my wrist, and like so that's the end of the video for me. And at that time, I was just like, you know, we're filming for the video. We've been on tons of trips. Like BMX is great, friends, all that stuff. And I'm just thinking like, I want to get back on my bike as soon as possible. So I'm just thinking, you know, get healthy, all this stuff. I always kind of been like in a sense of like fitness and nutrition, but never really took it too serious. Well, why my wrist was broken at that time, I was just like, I'm going to do, you know, I'm just going to learn as much as I can. So I basically just fucking sat at the computer and just read everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I could, you know. I basically just found a diet that I thought that would be sustainable, you know, for myself.
Were you doing paleo at first?
No. At the time, I basically, I went with the Keto Diet.
Oh, okay.
And so this is like 2008.
This is before it was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool right now.
Yeah, which is, I'm not down with it. So.
Not down with it, period, or not down with it long term?
I'm not down with it long term.
Okay. I've read some articles that are like, you should only do it for 12 days. Like,
no, not 12 days. I would say it takes 12 weeks for you to
I think once you're in ketosis, you shouldn't stay in it longer. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember what I read. But
so basically, so like at the time, not that it had anything to do with my injury, but at the time I was like, okay, like I'm going to get healthy, da da da. And so I was like, I've never fucking seen my abs in my life.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, this is it.
That's the goal.
This is my goal, you know? And so I came across this fucking bodybuilder, and his recommendation was like basically a keto diet. It was like a no carb diet, you know? And I was like, you know, fuck it. I'll just pull the trigger. I'll just go with it, you know? Yep. So I rocked it for 4 months, and this was like, I had came off of In-Search filming, but I'm confused about the time. I want to say 2007, 2008. And then in that time period, it went through like to 2010, 11-ish. And I kind of like, I didn't stay on it the whole time, but I implemented it through different periods of my life. In like contests and all that.
Okay.
And fuck, I can't deny it. Those were like the best years of my contest.
You had that weird rebirth.
Yeah. And all that was that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was a coincidence or whatever.
So that you were on the ketogenic diet while you were doing so well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it is weird because, I mean, I would say that whole diet thing was great. Like, I do believe that it is good, but I also believe that it creates just, I don't know.
Nick Bruce did it for a minute and told me he wasn't going to do it again. He said it wasn't good for his lifestyle.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not an athletic diet.
Yeah.
You basically like there are benefits to it to like people that have actually like, you know, dietary problems or like health problems.
Yeah.
There are health benefits to that. But other than that, like you would just use it basically from when I first had learned about it was like you would use it for a bodybuilding show to diet down for the show, you know? So basically you use it for like a 4-month, basically, you know, 12, 16 weeks, and you would use it working up to a show.
Just so you're extra shredded.
Yeah, so you're shredded. And that's what it works for. But it's not sustainable, you know, and there's a rebound effect, you know.
So you bounce back.
Yeah, well, you bounce back if you basically have to wean yourself back into eating normally.
God, that's
but if
weird.
if you just fucking go back to where you started, you'll just rebound and you'll fucking destroy yourself.
Balloon up real quick.
Yeah, and life will just fucking go to shit, you know? And so you have to do it correctly, where you wean yourself back into eating carbs correctly and like
Gotcha.
introduce them back to your
can't just dive
diet.
on in. Fucking
Yeah, you can't just be like,
shred a
oh,
burrito.
Yeah. So like I would go like, you know, like, so if you wanted to talk about cheat meals, I would fuck a cheat meal up. People don't even understand where, you know, when I talk about feeding the beast and feeding them, you know, where that shit came from is because I would literally go like no carbs for 6 days a week. And then on day 7, I would go the whole day with no carbs. And at night, I would basically be planning my whole Sunday night meal all week long with my wife. And then I'd be like, yeah, I want a box of cereal. I want a gallon of ice cream.
I think you were the first guy to introduce me to putting cereal on ice cream.
Everything.
Great fucking move.
Anything and everything. Like I would come up with the wildest shit. Like we would do like a.
Were you also really high?
Probably most of the time. And then like we would do like, you know, like we would bake s'mores and like a huge thing of s'mores and like just the wildest shit, dude. Like I would end the whole night in like a fetus position, like holding my stomach,
passing away.
You know, yeah. And then like, but then by Wednesday, the next day, or like a few days later, I would be down a pound, you know? And like, so it was just like slowly progressing, you know, like I would, and like through dieting and all that, like, you know, I would weigh everything out. Everything is monitored. And then on Sunday it would be like cheat meal day and fucking, I would go to town.
Yeah.
People think I was nuts. And then by Wednesday, everything like water weight and everything would go away and I'd be down a pound. And then fucking next thing you know, I'm like down a couple pounds. And then you just do that for fucking 3 to 4 months. Boom. You lean out. It's a fucking wild process, but it's not sustainable. You can't do that shit.
So did you
forever.
ever see your abs?
I did.
So you met the goal.
One time. I saw him.
Like, all right, well, see you later.
Yeah.
Forever.
And like, so I did that shit, and it's crazy because you get addicted, you know? Like, you start to see results with yourself, but then people see results, and they're like, holy fuck, like,
Yeah.
dude, you're like, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. And then, like, I was doing good in contests, so, like, people were like, yo, you're leaned out, you're fucking killing it, you're doing great in contests, you're, like, top 3, podium, all the shit, X Games, da-da-da-da, and then, like, you get addicted to that, like, that process.
It's not a bad thing to be addicted to.
It's not, but then, so, this shit's like 10 years ago. So now when I look back and I see myself, I fucking look at it and I'm like, you're fucking anorexic. Like,
Yeah.
you are like near death, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it is great times and all that stuff. But now I just have, like, now I understand nutrition way better.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
that was just a moment where I was like, you know, like, I want to see my abs. I want to just get lean.
Yep.
And I didn't know any better. Like, I didn't know anything. I just said, I want to get lean. And now I see shit and I know things a lot more. And I know like a healthy, balanced lifestyle
Yep.
that I can live where I stay comfortably where I want to be, but I can
Yeah.
still enjoy this bottle of wine, get fucked up,
That's
talk
not
shit
wine.
to you.
That's vodka's
Or-
shittier cousin.
Yeah,
I hate
whatever,
vodka.
you know. Since I drink this, it clears my insides out. And I
This will make me throw up everything I've eaten all day.
Shit like that. I don't know.
So
Like,
I think we got off on that tangent just based on talking about the routine at your new job. And I was just kind of saying, I feel like ever since you kind of started embracing that lifestyle, I feel like you always seem to stick to a routine. You'd weigh out your food. You'd bring chicken in a plastic bag to the skate park. So are you pretty routine oriented, would you say? So this isn't a total curveball to you?
yeah, I am. I'm like, you know,
And I know when you're home, you get up, take the kids to school, you know,
yeah, I'm like,
take your daughter
so
to school. And
basically, you know, you're in the gym. Like, okay, for myself, like, you go to the gym, you monitor what weight you're pushing, you know, and if you want to progress, you progress with the weight you're pushing. Same, you know, and I always question people, you know, that don't monitor there's some things, but monitor other things. Like, you know, most people know how much gas prices are,
yes.
you know, because they monitor gas prices. They put gas in their car, you know, but they don't monitor what they put in their body,
Yeah.
which is fuel for your body.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense to me, you know, like, You know how much you're spending for gas. You know how many gallons you put of gas in your gas tank. Everything, all about your car. You probably get pissed off every day, every time you pull up and you have to put gas in your car. But for your body, people don't, you know?
I mean, I feel like I do. I know if I have like 5 or 6 beers, I'll be kind of drunk.
Yeah, it makes
so we're
sense.
good, right?
Makes sense, you know?
No, but I think...
But you would probably be pissed off if alcohol content went down and now you have to put 10 to 12 beers in your body. Correct?
I don't actually think that much about it. I was trying to be a smart ass.
But wouldn't that make sense?
When I go to Utah?
Fuck, last week, 5 beers got me drunk. Now this week, I had to drink 10.
That's called alcoholism. That's drinking too much. But no, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So, like, that shit just, you know, it drives me crazy. And, like, people are like, oh, I can't believe you weigh out your food, you know? And it's like...
So you still do this?
I can't help it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do it. China is a lot harder because all their food is saturated in oil.
Yes.
Which drives me crazy because the oil content adds so many more calories to it. So you could be like, oh, I'm going to eat lean meats, but it's fucking sitting in a pool of fucking oil.
So all of a sudden it's terrible for you.
Yeah, so now you have a lean meat, you know, it's like 200 calories, but it's saturated in oil, so it adds like 300 calories. But how do you monitor that? It's hard, you know? Unless you exactly know that you're getting a cut of lean meat, then you can like actually be like, well, this is...
So what's your standard diet out here? What's a normal week for you?
Anywhere I go, it's meat and vegetables.
Okay.
If someone asks me, what are you eating? What can I get you? Whatever. It's always meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
You know? And then if I want...
So do you stick to low carb?
It depends on my day.
Okay.
So if my day is heavy, I'll implement carbs because it's a fuel source.
Yep.
And if my day is chill, I don't need the fuel, so I don't need the carbs.
Yep.
And that
makes a lot of sense.
This is an easy way for people in the future, if anyone's even curious about like implementing their diet to what their daily routine is. It's carb cycling. You could search it. It's easy. Just Google it. Most people know Google, I'm sure.
Not in China.
Probably not in China. Just VPN that shit.
There you go.
But so carb cycling, you basically, if you have a heavy, say, just work day, it could be a gym session or just a physical work day of your job. You're probably going to need more fuel, so you're going to need more carbs. And if you need more carbs, you'll cut the fat out of your diet. You know, you'll back off the fat. So it's more protein, more carbs, less fat. If you are on a off day where you're not doing anything physical, whatever, you'll not need as much fuel, so less carbs, but then you'll supplement that with more fat. So
what type of fat are you talking about?
Just healthy fats of oils, nut oils, nut butters, avocados, I don't know.
Dope shit like that?
Just, yeah. There's not too many, but just healthy fats of just, basically just, I usually just fuck with like nut butters and stuff, you know, like.
Like a smoothie or type of thing? Or?
You know, well, not a smoothie, but just like, I love peanut butter, you know, like.
Or just eat it with a spoon?
Yeah. Or I'll just add it to it, or oils. Any type of oils are good. But I mean, you can go overboard really easy. So that's where like weighing stuff out and monitoring comes into play. You know, like a spoonful of peanut butter could be 200 calories. You know, one serving is 200 calories, but it's small.
Yeah.
If you go with a heaping spoon, now you're looking at like, you know, 450 calories, and then some people are like, oh, I don't know why I can't lose weight, you know.
I'm eating this natural peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm eating this peanut butter. Everyone's like, oh, I'm doing this. It's like a natural oil, I'm whatever, but like the calories add up fast, you know. And then like those 200 to 300 extra calories could be the difference of you maintaining your weight, gaining weight, or losing weight.
Yeah.
And until you actually like monitor that, you'll never really know the difference. You know, like. And that goes with like someone that eats fucking McDonald's every day, you know, like they might say, oh, I eat McDonald's every day and I'm okay, you know? But try eating a healthy diet for a couple months and then go eat McDonald's and see what your body fucking says to you.
Yeah.
It'll tell you that you're fucked. Like, you know, when you eat McDonald's and that type of shit. Like, you're just so used to it. You've adapted to that lifestyle, you know?
Dude, I'm impressed you're able to maintain a healthy lifestyle living out here.
But this shit's easy because China is like, I mean, you have to go out of your way to eat shitty. You know, like I have to I guess it's the same as anywhere else. You know, like you'd have to go to a market to go buy some sweets or shit like that, you know, whatever. But like all meals are basically like meat, fish, chicken, lamb, you know, vegetables, some types of soup, some type of fish. And they're not all cooked in the way that you would actually prefer them to be, but you can sort out and you can go places and make it work, you know, like, but the only problem I have is like most places will cook all their foods in oils, you know, and that just like kind of just blows out the whole fact that, like, you know, if you want to order a plate of broccoli and the broccoli's sitting in a pool of oil, it's like you just ruin the whole thing of the broccoli, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like it's no different than when I would be at home, you know? I would be like, yeah, give me a steak or some chicken or whatever with some vegetables, you know, and like that's fine.
Are there enough English speakers surrounding you to where you can order whatever you want at a restaurant? Or do you just try to go somewhere with pictures and point a lot, or?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
But so with my job, all meals 3 times a day are taken care of.
So you have a chef, or how does that work?
It's all through the hotel restaurant.
Okay. So hold on.
And we choose, like, well, not we, but I actually choose the menu.
Which is perfect.
For the athletes.
That's perfect.
You know, so I choose it based on...
So they're all on a good diet.
Yeah, so I choose on myself. I choose on them. And we're basically looking for a well-rounded diet, you know, of protein, carbs, and fats. And like, say we order like a fish meal and it comes out every day, and like the kids aren't really eating the fish because they're not into it or whatever.
You let them starve.
No, well, they will starve because they're not eating it, for one. But then I'll be like, hey, why do we have this fish plate on our table every day? No one's eating it. Let's replace it with, you know, some
chicken, beef,
or
whatever.
Something.
Yeah,
I want something that they're going to eat, you know? Like sometimes, I don't know, you just feed the motherfuckers.
You know, you gotta feed them. I think it's kind of part of the situation. So I think when you look at what's going on with you, I think a lot of people have a lot of questions. A lot of people wonder what's so great about it. And what I've kind of gathered is that you're living an adventure. Everything's paid for. Your meals are taken care of. Where you stay is taken care of. You have a 6-figure job, BMX based, and you're fucking psyched. Is that all correct?
Pretty much what it comes down to.
That doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck.
I think a lot of people would kill to have this opportunity.
Yeah, I believe so too. And I believe that I'm just blessed to be the one that got it. But,
yeah, you got to keep it up.
But I feel like too, like even in that regards, like I honestly don't think a lot of people can handle it.
I agree. I don't think I can handle it.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I've racked my brain. Because I know a lot of people in the industry.
Yep.
And I honestly just, I really can't think of anyone that could take it on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's little things here and there, and I just feel like that would probably just kill someone, you know?
Yep.
They couldn't take it. But my personality is just, I don't know. I roll with the punches. I get along with everybody.
And I think you do a good job too, because you can live both sides well, to where you're still a guy that could sit down in a meeting and speak logically, and I think is a great person to speak on behalf of BMX. I look at a guy like Catfish, who I fucking love and loves China more than anyone else, but you know, you throw him in a meeting and he's got all these crazy tattoos, and you follow him on Twitter and he's looking for drugs. It's like, where I think it's someone like you can go out there and represent BMX in a country with so much potential that essentially doesn't know anything about BMX in a great way. You know,
I see it, yeah.
A lot falls on you here, and I think this could go a lot of really great places.
And also, like, I'm still like highly competitive.
Yeah.
Like in a mindset and just in general, my riding.
So we're gonna see you.
You
back,
might not see it.
Are we gonna see you back competing then?
Any chance that I have a chance to compete, I will be in the contest.
So
I will not deny that or back out at all. Like, I'm 100% competitive. You might not see it in the riding or whatever I post because technically I don't even have to.
Yeah.
So I just kind of
you're competing with you at that point.
Yeah, well, I just, I go with the flow. Some days I might not ride, like, just, if you follow my Instagram, sometimes you'll just see a shitload of just photography posts.
I like it.
And that might be a few weeks of me not riding. It's just a time in my life that I'm not, like, in riding, but I'm, like, really motivated to go out at night and fucking shoot photos and do shit like that. Yes.
Take it. How long is this going to take?
I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Pause. All right. Part of being in China is Rob's wife just called and yelled at him. So now we're back. And I think he might have just died. You still alive?
I'm good. I just started.
So, Trent, what does the future hold for BMX in China as far as you are concerned?
I feel like BMX in China has literally just started. Like, we have not even broke ground at all. From the athletes, I mean, some of the athletes just started riding BMX this year, and I have athletes that have been riding for years, and they have experience. And with the parks that are in China, everything is like new and still in development. There are some parks that have been here for a while, but I don't know. They haven't. It seems like the parks that have been here, you would think that, like for instance, like S&P, huge ass skate park, amazing skate park. We go there once a week. It's great. And you would think that a park that huge and all that bullshit would produce
some incredible talent.
I can't tell you one rider that has come out of there and been like, I'm an SMP local. And
is that park empty a lot?
And I see
when you roll up, is it empty?
When I was there all summer, it was empty. There was nobody there.
Is it so big it scares people off?
No, I don't. I want to say, fuck, it was probably because of the summer heat. And that's all I can really come up with.
Yeah.
Because, like, we went there, 1 or 2 days a week all summer, and there was no one there. And then I went back home, America, like
a month and a half ago.
October-ish, right around early October.
Yeah.
For a week and a half, 2 weeks, right in there.
I think I was in North Carolina when you were there. So
okay.
it was
yeah.
A month ago.
And some of the athletes would show me like some updated videos of just, what they were doing, progressing and stuff like that. And the park was like crowded.
That's good.
And I was like, fuck, like where were all these people all summer,
Yeah.
And I don't know. It wasn't anything to do with like the school system or anything like that, because obviously like now we're in October, school's in.
Yeah.
And I had to just been the weather. Yeah. Other than that, I seriously couldn't tell you. But like, the park's outrageous. And if that's your local park and you actually like get used to riding like that madness, anywhere else you would go, you'd be like, well, it's nothing. Like when you get used to 10 and to 18 foot tall quarters,
you're not intimidated anymore.
You're not intimidated by,
yeah.
Like a 6 foot tall mini ramp
Absolutely.
Or something like that. It's outrageous. I go there and I'm shitting myself. I get messages from like Brian Hunt, who sends me photos of him roasting like quarter pipe airs out of the 18-foot quarter. And I'm like, it's not really me. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
going fast
carving the shit out of it, real, hard as fuck, and like hitting some of the obstacles in there, and like I posted some things through there, but like I don't really plan on just like dropping in and just directly hitting an 18-foot tall quarter
Trying
pipe.
to fucking air an 18-foot tall quarter
And then like, you know, and like doing a toboggan like 4 feet out, you know, it doesn't satisfy me. I can hit a 6-foot quarter pipe and go 6 feet out.
Fuck, yeah.
And like that gives me the.
I feel like parks that big are made more for going fast than going high.
S&P in the Big Bull area,
Sex, money, power.
It's kind of it's blown out. It actually doesn't really flow as well as you think it would.
Yeah.
Because it's so big that you really can't like generate the power to like utilize the transitions of the park.
Dude, there's some
and that's only one area of the park, and there are parts of it, of that big area, that you can actually like drop in and just roast the fuck out of it, and it's great, and like that puts a smile on your face. But there's other parts of it where it's just like I really can't go fast enough to utilize what this is, you know, like you have to fucking get pulled in by a motorcycle or something. But there's so much more to the park that's just one little.
That's the iconic part that everybody knows about.
Yeah. It's just the huge little area, but there's so much more to it that, you know, we're in other parts of the park that sometimes you don't even see that part of the park all day.
Do you guys have a driver?
So like if I schedule like we go to S&P on Wednesdays and we go to Shanghai on Saturdays.
Yeah.
There's the bus. They rent a bus.
A private bus.
A private bus.
That takes you guys.
Yes.
That kicks ass.
And they'll rent a bus, and that's it. Bus picks us up, takes us to the park. We ride for 8 hours or whatever the schedule is. Bus takes us back home.
So what do you do like when you go to Shanghai? Is there a train or something you take, or what do you do?
If we go to Shanghai to ride?
When it's your day off, you're going to shoot photos in Shanghai. How do you get there?
So now that we're in the area that I live in now, I really don't do that.
Okay.
Just because it is a bit of a mission.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, and where we're at now, I actually haven't had too much time to explore because basically I was in America and now we moved to this new town. Everyone moved to this new town when I was in America, so it was like the move was like kind of stressful because I wasn't there to oversee the whole thing.
So you're still pretty new at this new area. I didn't realize you just moved there.
Yeah.
Everybody moves when you were in America.
And so I'm kind of like, I know the area because we always took day trips. When we lived in Shanghai, we took day trips there. So I do know just like what we were getting ourselves into because, I mean,
you had been there.
I had recommended this place to be the full-time place that we live at because riding that park and training and all that made sense. But it just happened to happen like when I had already scheduled this trip to America to visit the family. So it was like, at the same time, it was kind of stressful.
Yeah.
Like, because I just wasn't there to oversee the whole process. And so I come back and now we're living there 24/7 and everyone's already there like for a week and a half. And it's everything's good. Everything's solid. Schedule's great. Restaurant's good. Everyone's taken care of. Hotel's great. It's not Shanghai.
Yeah.
So like I'm super bummed just on the, you know, when I was in Shanghai with the kids, we would ride all day, all night, and then I would literally just leave the park and just pedal straight down into the city.
Just explore shit.
Yeah. And like the city's lit up, lights everywhere. I would, you know, fly the drone, shoot with my Sony, just whatever I wanted to do. It was amazing. And now we're like an hour north, so I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed on that sense, but for the kids and the athletes, whatever,
it's a better situation.
It's a way better situation. Way, way, way better situation. So, you know, that's fine.
So there's more facilities coming in the future, correct? For you guys, training facilities?
Yeah. I mean, ever since, obviously myself getting this job as the Olympic head coach and just the Olympics and being involved in BMX, the Cycling Association is fully backed it, and other provinces in China are, you know, jumping on the wagon of just buying and producing skate parks and buying skate parks and basically just kicking ass all the way around. Like it's great. Like,
so if more of these provinces do this, are you going to be traveling around China a lot more? Is that kind of what's going on here?
I mean, I think we'll travel. We're basically, like surfing. You just chase weather.
Yeah,
that's
gotcha.
basically how I feel. Like,
so is an indoor facility in the future, or is this all going to be outdoor and you're going to be chasing
everything that we're dealing with now in China? I mean, there's a park in Shenzhen that's in just north of Hong Kong.
Yeah,
and it's an indoor park. It's pretty good. I have a little kind of issues with it. So I don't know if we'll end up going there, during the winter or whatnot.
What are these issues? Are they juicy?
No, it's little things like it's like how the metal meets the ramps.
Just kind of shittily built, or
well, it's just like the ramps were designed and built without the thought of the ramp actually meeting the ground. So basically, it was just like a template, and it was cut with, say, like 2 inches above the ground. So it's like a transition. And it's cut, and then it stops, and it's 2 inches above the ground, and then
throw a piece of
and
metal
then you throw a piece of metal. So now you go up the metal, and then you go up the ramp.
It's like riding like a fucking a street spot where you.
So now now imagine like a rhythm section of like 3 jumps with metal. It goes flat, and then metal down. And then metal up, and then jump. It's just like
you don't want to give them.
You're hitting bumps.
You don't want to give these kids
everywhere.
A false impression.
Yeah, not a false impression, but it's just like you're ready for a smooth transition, and you're getting hit. It's like throwing a fucking speed bump in front of every jump you hit. You're hitting a spine, throw a fucking speed bump in front of it. You land off the spine, throw a speed bump on the landing. Box jump, lip, fucking vert wall.
Sounds very unpleasant.
Yeah, and it's just like. It was a huge mistake, an easy one to fix in the beginning process of designing the park, but like they fucked up, and I was like, yep, this is I can't do this.
One and done.
Yeah,
we good.
Yeah,
so, especially if there's other good shit in the country. It'd just be great to get some more indoor stuff.
It was awesome because that was an indoor park, but it's just like I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah,
and there'll possibly be more shit that might pop up in the future, but if not whatsoever, like it's not a make or break deal. Like, and like there are crazy shit. Like there's a park, I don't know, it's Hubei. I don't think Hubei is the actual Providence. It might be, but so there's this new park in Hubei, just got built, and it has a bunch of crazy features. Some things I've never like technically seen, like legit like hip resis.
Weird.
Like, and like wall ride resis and spine resis, Bach resis. It's more of like a training, like full training facility,
It's the Daniel Deere's Action Sports Park China edition.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's definitely a place that we'll probably visit.
Yeah.
It's not a place that will like,
base yourselves.
Say base,
Yeah.
But like I want to be based around actual ramps or like skate park facilities or like competition style ramps that you ride every day. And then I want to visit the foam pit or the resi park, like on a Sunday, let your mind all week kind of be like, fuck, I've been thinking about this all day, like I want it. And it's like, oh, Sunday, we're going to go there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you feed that fucking just oomph. And then like, here comes Sunday, we're going to the park, and they're fucking hungry for it, and they have at it,
As opposed to having it outside, you
living that every day, And then and I noticed a huge difference because we lived at the resi park or, more resi-ish style park, and it's like we rode that 24/7, and we'd go somewhere else. And they're so intimidated of like real riding, natural ramps, and like the just real like, you know, like if you ride a resi spine 24/7 and you go to a real spine, you're like,
now you're scared.
Now you're like, what the fuck? This isn't some mellow box jump landing that I can just land fucking on the concrete, but I still land decently smooth, you know?
Yeah.
You do that on a real spine,
You are fucked.
you're fucking check yourself, you know?
Yeah.
You'll probably eat the handlebars, you know?
Yeah.
So I would be like, hey, this is just like this park. And they're like, oh, no. It's you know, it's steep. You know, it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah, not everything's the same.
That's not real life, you know? You're not riding. You're fucking, it's ridiculous. So, yeah.
Work in progress.
Yeah. So that's why we live at the place we live now, because it's actually like a real competition style course. It's not,
dope. Yeah.
It's not as big as like the feast courses, because they're fucking on steroids.
They're large.
But it's as close as you can, like for China, it's as close as you're going to get to it.
Yeah.
Other than like, you know, having that course in your backyard.
Is the course that the World Championships are on, is that staying in China?
The Providence that we're in now has bought.
Is that Sichuan? Is that what
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they bought the course that everyone's competing on this weekend. So they bought that, and it's being moved to a city a few hours away.
Okay.
And we're holding a Chinese national event on that course next weekend.
Oh wow! So it's moving that quick.
Yeah, like so we'll stay. My team will stay in Chengdu all week.
Okay.
We'll probably just ride that concrete park.
The one at the event right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just have a good time and just make the most of
Cruise.
our time until that park is done being built. And then we're gonna drive to that park the day before practice is basically open, and then we'll get down on that event all weekend.
What are the goals? What are the goals with these national events in China? What are they trying to decide or accomplish, or is it just for overall competition experience?
I want to say it's a bit of both. I'm not totally informed on the whole process of it.
Okay.
But I want to say it's so no Chinese so basically no Chinese riders have any type of national ranking. And so this way they will have a base ranking on where they stand with their provincial teams and the national teams and future travel and stuff, like just, you know, like basically, you know, like
kind of creating a hierarchy.
Yeah, basically like any type of competitions in America. It's like, you know, like they want to know where all the athletes stand.
Yeah.
You know, they want to know why they're here, why they're there, why they're progressing, and why they're going, you know, like if they're on the national team, why they're going to America. They want to know why, like, some riders are here, some riders are there. And basically all these competitions in China are making...
So do you look at this as a negative? Is this like you having to justify your choices in your work? Or is this a positive in the sense of just getting to see more people ride?
It goes both ways, but at the same time, like I feel confident because I basically had the best riders in front of me, and I chose them out of a pool of, you know, of a lot of riders.
Did they have a big tryout in front of you?
There was a huge tryout,
in front of you.
Well, it started way bigger than when I came on.
Okay.
So let's just say, from what I heard, it started out with like 200 riders. And when I showed up, it had been broken down to like 100 riders. And then when I was there, we were in this town in between Shanghai and Beijing in this training facility. There's like 100 riders. And then we broke it down to, essentially we broke it down to like around the 20s.
Okay.
You know, like top 20. And we had a goal basically of 12. You know, I was thinking 6 females.
6 men, 6 women.
Yeah. You know, make it even, just a tight crew.
Yep.
And then it got pushed into 24.
Okay.
We're going to have 24 riders. We ended up having 2 riders leave just differences in, you know, where they stood. And then, so now we have 22 now. We have 14 girls, 8 men. But when it comes time for traveling and going to contests, we're just going to roll with 12. So we'll have 7.
So you kind of have an A team and a B team.
There'll be an A team and a B team.
Gotcha.
And so there'll be 7 females, 5 men.
Okay.
And that's, right now, that's where we stand. So.
And you guys are about to go to America and everything's...
Yep. So right now, this weekend's the Worlds. Next weekend, we have a Chinese national event, which will be on this Worlds event course that will be moved to this new city.
Yep.
And which will stay there. They bought it.
So you guys need to make quite a few trips down there, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Now that this Providence has bought this course, like, I'm already ready to just plan to be here after we come home from America.
As in moving here?
Yeah. I see no reason why we shouldn't.
It would make more sense to be riding that big course every time. Yeah.
I mean, this is the feast. This is the Worlds.
This is literally Olympics. The course.
This is, I mean, it might not be the exact same setup, but this is the transitions that we will deal with in every competition.
Even then, getting used to a gigantic box jump and gigantic quarter pipes and all that shit.
That spine's outrageous.
Scary as fuck.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I trip out on the spine, you know?
Yeah, look at it a couple times before you get down.
Yeah, you don't just say, "Oh, here's the spine," you know, like.
Yeah, it's not a 4-foot mellow bank to bank with coping on it. Yeah.
It's, you know, it sits next to a decent sized box jump, and it makes the box jump look tiny.
Oh, the box jump's big.
Yeah, and it makes it look tiny. Like,
yeah,
you know, and you imagine these kids, they've been riding
6 months.
BMX this year,
and
you're like, jump the spine.
Jump a 6-foot spine with a 9-foot landing.
Yeah, jump it. And then then land and pedal to hit the box jump.
Yeah.
You know? Imagine pumping a fucking 10-foot tall spine landing and then pedaling.
Well, the only way they're going to learn is to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. It's crazy shit.
There's no other fucking obstacle like that on the earth. You know? You're not going to be like, yeah, fucking land on the 10-foot tall fucking spine landing and start cranking so you can roast the box. Like, there's nothing like it. So, like, in a sense, like, now that this city is buying this park and these kids can actually ride it, like, if they learn to ride that park like that,
they're good.
Fuck, they'll be above and beyond, like, most anyone else.
Nobody else has that. Nobody else has that park, you know? Yeah. What were your thoughts on the Olympics before it, in a roundabout way, made you money?
I'm all about it. You were even before you had this gig? Yeah. I've been in competition.
I look at you as a guy, you're a straight shooter and you're super core, and if you didn't like it, you would I've heard you say you don't like many things in BMX publicly. And I know you would say so if you didn't like it. Yeah.
I'm all about it. Like, I could see the negative sides of it, but I would say the positives outweigh it. And it's not for everyone. Yeah. It's your boat, you know, like, if you want to jump on it, fucking ride the wave, you know, like, that's what it comes down to, you know, like, there's contest riders, there's fucking Instagram riders, there's your bro camera riders, there's all that shit. You can be anything, and you know, it's freestyle BMX. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. It's fucking freestyle the fuck out of it, you know, like, it does not matter. You can talk shit on one thing, you can talk shit on another thing. It's whatever floats your boat in bike riding. If you want to be the Olympic athlete, fucking jump on board, follow the rules, kick ass, do your thing, fucking rule it. If you want to be the Instagram dude, rock the Instagram fucking wave, kick ass, do your shit. If you want to be the DVD guy, hold out for fucking 10 years, drop your footage, you know, fucking you or iTunes, you know, whatever it is, like, just do you. Like, there's no fucking in, like, one way or the other, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, BMX is whatever you make of it. Like, if you want to be that, whatever, that's it. Fuck. Shit.
I agree. I'm confused by the backlash because I don't see it taking away from anything.
It's not going to take away from anything, you know?
Well, I don't think anybody argues that, but people just try
so
to...
right now, okay, if you wanted to make an easy fucking just thing, just simplify one aspect of it, say this, okay? You have you're in a city meeting, the city's talking about skate parks, okay? You don't have an argument. Now your sport is an Olympic fucking sport. You go into the city meeting, BMX is in the Olympics. We need an Olympic skate park. We need something that will produce youth Olympics, da-da-da-da-da. Now you have an argument. You win. You're already winning. Regardless of whatever you think, you've already won. That right there is a fucking no-brainer. Game over.
So what do you say to somebody that says BMX in the Olympics is a bad thing?
Fucking open your mind. Just, just, I don't know. Fucking stop being such a stiff cunt. Fuck.
That makes sense.
Like seriously, same thing with X Games. Like, okay, so like X Games uses like Super Park and a concrete bowl in every one of their events. Every one of their events. You can search it. It's a concrete bowl. So now you fucking go to a city meeting and you argue that concrete skate parks are in the BMX. BMX competes on it. Everything. All the evidence is there. Yep. They say BMX ruins concrete parks. All the evidence is there that fucking BMX competes on concrete parks. Argument over.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
The most elite fucking competition holds BMX competitions on your concrete park.
And now you're saying same deal, replace concrete with wood. It's in the Olympics. Let's get this shit in every city. Let's have
everything.
Badass wood park in every single city.
Everything.
Let's breed these new kids. Kick some ass.
It's a no-brainer.
Drink some beers.
I mean, if anything, it's an easy way to fight it, you know. If it's on such a high level and legit as that, you can walk in and fight it. If you have no backing on that, then it's one word against the other. But
then you sure fucking hope they have a kid that wants it and they're going to go to bat for it, because otherwise they're not going to give a fuck what somebody like me or you has to say, you know. But
that's just like, you know, that's just like a no-brainer, you know, like
good thing, positive thing.
Yeah.
What's next for you, Rob? What do you see the next year? So you're contracted here in China till 2020?
Yeah, I'm contracted all the way till the Olympics.
Okay.
And that's the next chapter.
I mean, have you talked beyond that? If all goes well and they want to keep you, are you going to try?
There's nothing beyond that right now.
Gotcha.
I mean, I would imagine that if I do my job well and whatever, kick ass.
You are a master.
That I'm a master now. But if I continue just mastering my masterness,
senior master Darden,
all the bullshit in between, that there might be opportunities, you know, beyond this.
Yep.
And I don't even know if I even want it. I'm just, you know, just like anything else in my life, it's just one step at a time, you know. I've never really planned ahead for anything, but I'm not denying anything, you know, like,
yep.
If there's talk, you know, obviously I'll talk, but
right
now I feel like I have so much on my plate. Just, I don't feel like pressure from, you know, the association trying to like do whatever. Like, I honestly don't even care. I'm just gonna do what I do and how I see fit, because that's really all I can do. That's all I can do. Yeah. You know, like, you know, I can't fucking force someone to like just defeat their fears. You know, like, in the end of the day, really what it comes down to is fears. You know, you could be like, you know, you're capable of this, you do this, but just fucking send it, you know. But like, fear comes in. Fear is a huge thing that I deal with.
Fear and desire. Do you really have the desire?
Yeah, like, Yeah, you might have the desire, but the fear is way heavier than desire.
You might not be scared if you don't really want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Easy way to cop out.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand, like this industry. I deal with a lot of people that come from a road bike industry.
Yeah.
And it's like, what fear are you actually dealing with? Like getting hit by a car, but you're probably in an event that the roads are blocked.
Your biggest fear is getting in a collision with other bikes, which you can get fucked up in, but that's nothing compared to the shit. This stuff,
Imagine the everyday, abuse of progression, and on such a level of progression that's like every day.
Step it up.
You
got a deadline. There's a fucking deadline now.
You roll your ankle one day and it's like, okay, now my fucking ankle is shit for like the next 2 months, but everyone's on my fucking tail about pushing it, and this is what I deal with. Like athletes are like, oh, I have to keep progressing, but my ankle's fucked. And so now I'm dealing with an athlete that's like, constantly hurt, and it's like, you really just need to chill the fuck out for 3 months and then come back at me and ride when you're healthy. But like they get outside influences where they have to keep progressing and like their injuries never heal, So one of the things I first said when I took on this job, I said, the hardest thing that we're going to fucking overcome and deal with is injuries.
Yeah.
Like the level of progression and pushing the riders on a level of, just progressing 24/7, like to not get hurt is like winning the lottery. Like you just can't do it. Like,
well, you look at the highest level, and arguably the best competition park rider in the world right now is Logan Martin.
And he's broke off.
He's missing the event. He won this event last year. Yeah. And so last year this podium at this event was Logan Martin drawing a blank and Colton Walker. Who the fuck was in second?
But like, okay, so
what I'm getting at is
Logan,
two of those guys aren't here.
Just in Logan's fucking defense, like he probably wasn't even going out of his element. He wasn't like being like, oh, I'm gonna like try a new trick.
No, it's like what he does every day is such high level, such high risk. He's a bad motherfucker.
Happens. Yeah, shit happens, and shit happens every day. Where I'm dealing with, 22 kids that are like trying to learn and progress every day, and they're out of their element. Every day is an out of element experience. It's like, do I have this? I show them. They're like, okay, you showed me. I'm feeling confident. I'm gonna go for it. And it's like, boom, I fucking ate shit, rolled my ankle, bruised my hip, and now they're hurt for a week or 2 or a month, and it's now you're like, how's the injury? How you doing? I have all of it. I have kids that have already had shoulder surgery.
Wow.
Blown out knees.
Hey, how's the medical treatment?
It's great.
Seems good.
Everything's taken care of.
And it seems top notch.
Yeah.
Good.
Everything's good. Everything's taken care of. But it's just still, like
you're still off your bike.
Yeah, like and some people don't understand it, but it's like, fuck, like once you have a little bruise or bang, you have to let that shit heal. And if you don't, it's just a continuous ongoing thing. And then you're riding at like a shitty percent, you're not progressing. And then, say upper management, it's like, hey, why are they not doing what we projected or why are they not? It's like, you don't understand the sport, you don't understand what we go through, like. Do
you feel like they trust you when situations like that happen?
Yeah. I have not had any doubts on anything, or I feel fully trusted, like whatever I say, they believe and goes.
They understand that you're a BMX master.
Yeah. They know I'm fucking Master Darden. They know. But at the same time, they just have, I think that they want results like results that you would have, say, from like a gym session or a road bike session, where it's like, just say road biking, like you ride in circles, and it's easy to monitor what you're doing.
You went faster. Great job.
Yeah. Or you you produced more power, or, you know, you cut down your time, and like, and it's easy to progress, you know, and like when they ask for some type of progression or a training program, it's like, well, I'm dealing with a 13-year-old girl that can't drop in, and I'm dealing with a 25-year-old man that wants to do fucking flare double whips.
Yep.
In the same session by myself.
And I'm one man.
Yep. Other than fixing 2 other athletes' bikes, answering emails in between.
So you need a mechanic, you need 1 or 2 assistant coaches, you need a translator.
All the shit. So I'm doing all this, and it's like, okay, how do you want me to come up with a program that's like, you know, sustainable and like slowly progressive for athletes that, 1, can't drop into a ramp, 2, that needs help on flip double whips, you know?
Do you actually have a rider learning flip double whips?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a really important...
Just like foam.
Yeah.
You know,
when is
I
the last time,
have a lot of foam tricks just like anybody else.
When's the last time you did a 3 double whip on a real ramp or jump?
I don't know.
More or less than a year.
Oh yeah, more than a year. But if you wanted me to, I could do it tomorrow.
How about 7 bar?
I could do that tomorrow too.
When's the last time you did one?
You probably tell me before I could tell you.
I was probably there. Probably. Dew Tour.
That shit's all in the bag, but just I don't.
If it's not fun, why do it?
No, they are fun. Like, I love 7s. You know, 7s is probably one of my favorite tricks.
Yeah.
7 variations isn't really much different. It's really just opening it up in the middle of the 7, which isn't a problem. But I don't have to. You know, like where I'm at in my life right now, I don't have to risk it, or I don't have to push it. There was a time, like, you know, Dew Tour days where I was just like, you would work, like, Diogo and I were just talking about this the other day. Like, we would ride together and we would progress together, and we would like, it would be we would work our way up to the Dew Tour, you know, before the week.
Yep.
And like, we would just work through our tricks, you know, like on the Red
Just back-to-back session. We're doing all the hammers.
It's just like, you would just flow through your tricks. So when you rock up to Dew Tour, that shit's just ingrained, you know.
Yep.
It's just like, I fucking did this 36 hours ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know this, like, you know, the back of my hand. And now I just don't have to do that. You know, I'm in a position in my life where
It's gotta be a beautiful feeling, man.
It's great, you know, and what's great is like, I'm in the situation I'm in, and I can support my family, but I don't have to kill myself, or I don't have to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can ride any day of the week, or not ride any day of the week, but I can ride any way I want during the week. You know, like, I can go ride street and have fun. I can go ride with the athletes and progress and have fun, or I can go ride some jumps and have fun, or I could just not ride all week and have fun. Like, you would never even know it, you know? Like, most shit you wouldn't even know anyways, because it's not real unless you fucking post it on Instagram, you know? Like, basically, if you don't post it on Instagram, you're probably looking like a piece of shit, so it don't matter.
How nice to not have that obligation. Most modern day pros, if
that
you will,
too,
that's written in their contracts.
Yeah,
post on Instagram, tag us, give us exclusive clips.
Like,
you don't have to do that shit.
I love that shit too, because like I said, like, you might see 30 posts of photography stuff, and it might not be what you want to see from me, but that's what I'm into. So like,
the only reason I don't like to see it from you, because I don't like you seeing being good at that and also being good at writing. Like, give me fucking one up on you, man.
That's a long-term goal that just finally I pulled the trigger.
Fuck yeah, that's dope shit.
So, but like I said, like, you know, like, I might be sore from riding, and I might just be hungry to like go out at night, and I'll just shoot a shitload of photos and then like, you know, like, you go out one night, you shoot some photos, and it's like, it sparks that interest. You're like, fuck, I can't wait to go back out tomorrow night. And then, like, you know, now I have just multiple nights of just shooting photos, and like, I fucking have thousands of photos, but I never post them.
Overwhelming amounts.
Yeah. But it's just like, once you like, you know, like, if I go out and I shoot a photo, I'm like, it just sparks that interest. You're like, oh fuck, I just forgot, you know, like, how cool this is.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, boom, I'm just shooting photos. And then And then I'll have that itch for riding. I'll go and post a riding photo, and then that same itch is right there. I'm like, oh fuck, man, like that made me feel so fucking good and rad that now I just want to film and shoot photos, like or not photos, but like, you know, BMX
actually
photos.
Go get a clip.
Or clip. Yep. Yeah. And like, and that just, you know, like for Instagram, like it sucks that Instagram has that influence, but like at the same time, it's rad because sometimes like I'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna go get an Instagram clip, you know, and like that'll be the motivation enough for me to go out and shoot a clip, you know, and it could be fucking anything. It could be roasting a fucking quarter pipe, a bowl,
some tech
shit, or fucking whatever. It's like whatever.
What's cool about China too is there's enough crazy and or untapped spots. You can find some shit and carve it, and people are pumped. You know what I mean? Because it's a crazy looking spot. It's all about everything's so spot based here, and there's so much unfucked with stuff.
China is fucking the most untapped territory I believe in the world.
Whenever you're out riding with the kids, do you ever throw down some fucking hammers just to put them in their place? So they understand?
I do.
Respect me.
I do, and a lot of the times I don't. I'm like usually chilling in board shorts, t-shirt, and like. I'll just pop on the helmet to show them the basics, you know, they're sitting there like, oh, I want to learn 360s or bar spins or toboggans or tuck no-hander. And I'm just like, okay, boom, 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 you know, show them. I'll film it, slow-mo, you know, send it to them all. That way they can just sit there late night.
Study that shit.
Watch it, whatever they want to do, you know, I fuck around with that. And then some days I'm like, I feel like it's game time, you know, like I'll pad up. I put on pants, and they know. Like, if I'm not in board shorts or I'm not in shorts and they see me in pants, they're like, holy shit, like,
shit,
something's happening.
BMX Master Darden put on pants.
Yeah. And then I lay it down, like, you know, like, I guess my old self, like when I'm in pad, like if I have pads on, knee pads and pants, then I literally feel invincible. Like that's like my contest time, you know, like I will lay down any trick or any of that shit. So they know it. I've been around them enough to where they know, like they're like, holy shit, you have pants and pads on. And so like they're like,
BMX Master Darden never wears pants.
Yeah.
That came off as inappropriate.
Oof.
Do you none of these kids go to school, right? They're just like full-time athletes?
No, and that's like part of the fucking Chinese system. Like you're either in or you're out. You're a full-on athlete or you are basically
regular motherfucker.
You're back home. You're going to work a job. You're going to do your thing. But if you're in the system, you're in the system. You're an athlete.
Do they have a lifelong plan? Like what if they don't get educated and they can only be an athlete until they're 30 or whatever, what do they do after? Do you even know?
I do not.
Fuck, that's weird, man. Maybe it's not weird. It's just different than where I'm from. Yeah. You know, but
I don't know the full details of the whole situation, but it is wild because it's not like I'm dealing with like, you know, say like, okay, you have a 13-year-old to 21 and you're done with it. You know, right now it's just like anything goes.
Yeah.
You know, I have 4 13-year-old girls, and then everyone else is of age and plus up to 25.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and I deal with these kids every day, you know, like I know they're every in and out. So like we are in a hotel, everyone on the 8th floor of this hotel, we live together, you know. There's times where I'm like, don't fuck with me. I'm on to sleep. And they're like, coach, knock on the door, you know, asking ridiculous questions. I'm like, fuck off. You know, I've been dealing with you since 6:30 in the morning. Don't knock on my door at 9.
Did Ben Huckey really do the fucking can handling?
Yeah, I just got this photo. Saw this photo on the gram through my VPN, and this motherfucker's doing a can on a dinosaur.
Is this real, Coach? BMX Master Darden, is this real?
Nah, that's all I can say is this is Kung Fu magic.
Well, fuck, man. Well, I'm psyched it's working out. Psyched, you're psyched. Seems like a really fucking good gig for the right guy, and I think you're the right guy.
It is good, yeah, and I can't complain. But I honestly think, like I said before, and I've thought of lots of people that I don't think many people can handle it. You know.
Yeah.
So I really don't. You know, because it takes. Not only does it take a level of commitment, but it takes just an openness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to take an openness of just wild shit on the daily, and for me, that's me. Like
that's why you're in the
I love that
open
shit.
relationship with your wife and whatnot. Right?
Yeah. So we rock that shit hard. But for real, like. I would say there's probably a fucking ton of BMXers that could handle that situation, but they couldn't handle it on a professional level.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Most guys are like, raw as fuck, ride BMX, this is great, give me BMX, more BMX, I'm BMX, you know? And that's fine, but there's more to it than that.
I think, especially the BMX public, the Instagram commenters and shit, there's going to be a bunch of them that are like, I'd do that job, I could do that job, and it's like, you don't fucking know till you're in it. Yeah. It's even like when I talk about being stressed about traveling. Like, oh, you're so lucky, you just travel all the time. It's, I got a fucking life at home. Yeah. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I haven't been home, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm complaining because it gets stressful. I fucking love it. I wouldn't change it. If I wanted to change it, I would change it. But it's like, there are a lot of sacrifices that come with this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're making a gigantic sacrifice.
Yeah. So like I've traveled my whole entire life. And my wife every time thinks that every time I travel, it's just pure vacation.
Yep.
So then I'm like, all right, you know, not I'm trying to prove a point, but like, so okay, we go on a trip together, just straight up traveling, and it wears her the fuck out.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And then she's just like, I'm fucking beat.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, well, here we go. This is the shit I deal with every day, you know? Like, I love it, but you got to roll with the punches.
I have a failed marriage based on that exact reason.
Yeah?
Just didn't respect the fucking job. And it's like, oh, you're just always out with your buddies and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, we're out drinking because we're out doing shit all day. And I got an alarm at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. I'm going to sleep 3 hours and get up and do the same shit again. I'm going to be miserable and I'm an idiot, but... don't fucking... Also, I'm paying the fucking bills.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
This is life.
You're paying the bills. I'm fucking... So, like... This last 2 weeks, my life has been fucking pretty easy. Now all you fucks are here. And I have slept less than 8 hours in the last 2 days, you know?
That's your own fault.
That's not my own fault.
So you're drinking this Chinese wine.
I had to show you fucks how to roll.
I appreciate that. You've always done a good job at that. I'll hit you with the final question, and then I should probably go to bed. Yeah, I guess you'll fucking party all night, but
no, we're not going to sleep.
Who's your favorite BMX rider of all time, Rob?
Why would you do such a thing?
It's the rules.
I'm so influenced by so many motherfuckers.
Well, the first one you say counts, so just say one.
You're an asshole. Joe Rich.
That's a good one. Speaking of SMP, good. Joe Rich.
Well, I don't think of Joe Rich when I think of SMP.
I do. I don't know why.
Really? I didn't even know Joe rode SMP until I rode SMP and I commented on shit and people were like, yeah, we went there with Joe Rich. I actually talked to Ramsdale today and he was like, we were there, Joe Rich, da-da-da.
So I'm not the only one that thinks Joe Rich when I think SMP.
Yeah.
I think Joe Rich and I think Will Stroud almost fighting with the owner.
I actually don't know of anyone at SMP other than Kaczynski.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we were talking about the hubba and the rail there. That is fucking outrageously legit for any hubba rail at a skate
real street
park.
Spot? Yeah.
I fucking grinded the rail. I'm posting on one of my Instagram posts, but like it'd been a while since I actually like hopped on a legit rail. You know, just because I've been riding parks with all the kids and all that shit, and I haven't gotten out. But like SMP had this fucking rail, and it's like a 15-stair handlebar height rail.
Like so nothing skate park rail about it,
dude. There's nothing like you could grind the rail, but if you actually hop on the fucking hubba ledge, it's like probably the biggest fucking thing that you would ever even attempt to hop on. Like,
Damn.
You don't fuck on.
Wow.
But even the rail is legit as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But the hubba is actually a little bit bigger. So it's just...
Like, did you grind it?
The hubba?
Yeah.
No. Actually, my side of the hubba has the last block of the hubba is broke off.
Okay.
But so like I was like,
did you do it so you don't have to fucking grind it?
No, so I was like, I was considering like, I could grind it, I could manual it, like weighing out the options, or and then like there's the rail's down the middle. The rail's fucking handlebar height, like, and I think it's 15 stairs. It's legit as fuck.
You can get fucking worked on it.
It's as legitimate as fuck as any fucking rail anywhere, it's huge. Like, you're fucking staring at it. And now I was like, I did my bitch run ups. I was like,
how many?
Probably 5.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is it. Like this.
You ever done that many run ups at a rail at a skate park before?
Not at a skate park.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, it's stairs on both sides. Like,
that's so crazy.
It is literally as legit as you can get for a fucking skate park rail. I mean, it is a legitimate rail.
Yeah, it just happens to be at a skate park.
Yeah. It's basically just like S&P, just bowls and everything else on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, whatever.
You get it
I fucking grinded
First go?
First go.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, double peg is pretty fucking stock and standard, but...
Well, it's, 15 stairs. Like, you're not trying to go... Do an ice for the gram on a 15-stair rail, I'll pass.
I'm pretty sure fucking Kaczynski iced it.
Yeah. Kaczynski's a rare breed. He's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Is it... Fuck. How would I fuck this up? Is it that?
That son of a bitch.
So it's black?
It's, that whole fucking kit in that corner. The hubbas and the rail.
I can see the people standing next to it. It looks big.
It's huge, dude.
It's crazy having that skate park background. It almost kind of dulls it down.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I say I have photos of that whole place, but it's fucking madness. I have drone photos, and it's ridiculous.
It looks incredible. I would like to go there sooner than later.
You probably won't.
You don't think I will?
No, you will for Olympic training facility background.
Perfect. Sounds great to me. We'll figure that
Bullshit.
out. Yeah, no, I'll make it happen. Rob, appreciate the time. I really got to piss.
Piss.
All right, that does it for this week. The interview actually ended because Rob fell asleep in my hotel room, but I think we all learned quite a bit about his crazy new life. Be sure to follow Rob and all of his crazy adventures on Instagram at Darden4130. Also, over the next couple weeks, the podcast might be on a bit of a sporadic schedule. I just flew from China to my parents' house. I'm hanging out here for a couple days and doing a bit of an early Thanksgiving. Early next week, I'm flying to Tokyo to spend some time and work on a project with Japan's newest citizen, Mr. Van Homan. And from Tokyo, I'm flying to North Carolina to check out the first ever UCI event in the United States. That is going down in Wilmington, North Carolina, and it should be a pretty interesting time. So you can expect all of the same fantastic content. The schedule just might be a little bit sporadic. So until then, thank you for listening, and just remember, it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. Goodbye.